Hey, what's up everybody? Josh with Casper back at you with Plugin Boutique, and today we're checking out the VPS Tape Stop effect. This is a pitch shifter, and essentially what it is that old school tape stop where you'd stop the tape on a tape machine and it would slowly wind down, or if you think about a record player, when you hit the stop button, the record doesn't just automatically stop. There's a little bit of a drift, depending on if you're using belt driven, obviously, or a direct drive would stop a little bit quicker. But what this effect does is gives you every control you could possibly want and a sequencer to control how these things sound. And you can get anything from sort of gating to the standard pitch stop effect to modulation, even some tremolo effects by using this plugin. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and run through some of these presets while some music is playing, just so you can get a good idea. I'm going to go into some of the different banks, and then we're going to go through the GUI and see what everything is all about and how to use it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so that gives you a good idea of the versatility of Tape Stop. So let's talk a little bit about how those effects are accomplished. So down here we've got the sequencer window, and if we're not looking at the sequencer, we're looking at the curves. And this is where you can actually adjust over time how the percentage of each one of these three effects is applied to the audio signal. You see we got pitch, filter, and volume, and each one of those has its own automation curve. So not only can I adjust the amount here by this dial or by just clicking and dragging right here, but I can also adjust the curve by clicking in the middle, and you can see that I can adjust how the curve goes from right to left. That's the same thing with the filter here. We've got an amount over here on the side, and the same with the volume as well, though the volume is over here on the right instead of just below where you might think it is. The pitch down effect is how long the time takes to go from normal to stopped. And by the way, you just click the stop button to stop it. So if I come over here and let's just come to the sequence and turn it off for a second and let the audio play, I'm going to go ahead and click and hold the stop, because if you just click it, you can see how the ball is only going a little bit and then zooming right back to the beginning. So right now it's stopping very quick, so we can either use the knob here to get milliseconds, or we can come in and choose something like 1/2. All right, so we can come in and adjust each one of these filters independently, which is always really, really cool. We do have slip functions, 3 different ones over here that we can turn on. We do have the power up speed. So we got power down, which is how fast it goes down, and then power up is how fast it gets back to 0. So again, if I turn this up as well to something crazy, let's go ahead and try this out. So having those two controls is right off the bat really, really powerful, but add to it the 3 different envelopes and this tape slip effect, and you've got a really, really great pitch shifting machine. So what tape slip actually is it's simulation of worn tapes and vinyls. So it's just going to give it a little bit more of a fluctuation rather than just a clean line. So besides that, we also have input and output gains, very straightforward. And I believe there are 40 different presets from the preset menu. If you choose right here, you'll see that we got crazy, gate, pitch, tape stop with no sequencer, and then wobble. So if you come in here and choose something like this, so I believe that one just uses the filter. So if you don't want to pitch, you can actually just turn the pitch envelope all the way up to the top, and we can just automate the filter. Or if you want to come into volume, we could just automate the volume. Really nice fade in and fade out like that. Or you can just do the pitch if you don't want to use the filter or the volume. Very, very cool. So let's talk about the sequencer here. You jump in here, you turn it on, and you adjust the length right here. So if we want to go up to, say, 32, right there. And now any of these blocks that I click and fill in are where the tape stop effect that we have adjusted down here and with our curves will be triggered. So if I do something like this, so if I come into power up, we want it a little bit quicker than that, maybe a 30-second. And instead of 2/1, let's go 1/2. So that's very cool. And we can choose the resolution as well. If we want each one of these to be a 32nd, 16th, 8th, 16th triplet, or an 8th triplet as well. So we can get triplet formats inside of the grid. There's also an offset amount if we want to use that as well. And this just changes where the play cursor actually starts inside of the tape effect itself. So it's pretty much straightforward there, but very, very powerful, especially if you're looking for those kind of pitch effects or really just special effects like creative ones with the tremolo and sort of wobbles and modulations and whatnot. And of course, if you don't want to use a sequencer and you want to do any automation inside of your DAW, that's perfectly possible as well, including automating the stop button. So anyway, that's a quick look at VPS Tape Stop. It's available now on Plugin Boutique. I do want to point out that you do need an e-licenser dongle to be able to use this effect on your computer. So make sure you keep that in mind before you make the purchase. Anyway, I'm Joshua Casper, and I'll see you in the next video.